5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're now tuned into the 411 podcast and reading Between the Wines, powered by the Black Diamond Consultations Network. More than a podcast, this is a sanctuary for self-discovery, healing, and personal growth. Here, we explore what it means to live debt-free, not just financially, but spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Every episode is part of a journey across our weekly mentorship series: Spiritual Sundays, Mental Mondays, Transformational Tuesdays, Wind Down Wednesdays, Coaching Sessions Thursdays, and Financial Fridays. Each day holds space for wisdom, clarity, and real conversation. So grab your journal, pour your glass, and prepare to go beyond the surface. Because here, we don't just talk, we transform. And now, here's your guide through it all: entrepreneur, mentor, and founder of Black Diamond Consultations, Laren Gaines.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Welcome on into Reading Between the Wines. Third time's a charm. We have recorded this episode 3 times already, so this should be it. So, to episode 62, Holiday Stress, Holiday Sex, and Holiday Debt. Reading Between the Wines, Wind Down Wednesday, part of the mentorship series. Wednesday, December 3rd. So welcome to December. It's here, and we getting ready to close this thing up. We have a couple more episodes before it is the final episode of Restoration. So yeah, got through over 60 episodes, so I definitely can't complain, and so thankful for all of this. And with that being said, I want to go ahead and give a very special thank you to my executive producer. I want to thank God for giving me another opportunity to come out here and, do this podcast, continue to grow, as we continue to navigate through this thing. So we're going to get right on into it. Song of the day. My favorite Christmas songs. Even though I don't celebrate it, but, growing up, I definitely do remember this record. What Do the Lonely Do at Christmas? I don't even know why I was so fascinated by this as a child, but I was. And even Patti LaBelle redid it over. But it is originally done by The Emotions, released in 1977 off of their album Sunshine. So as we get ready to get into, we're already in it. We're in the holiday season. But I want to know, what do the lonely do at Christmas? But not what you're thinking about, because I always remix it. I'm talking about the people who are in a relationship, who are in a situationship, who are in something, but they still lonely. Like, there's so many records out there, and of course, they're not going to come to mind because it's what I'm thinking about right now. But as soon as I'm done podcasting, they're all going to pop up. But how many out there where people talk about being in a relationship and a person is right there next to them, but they feel so lonely? Now that it's starting back to me, Jill Scott has a song, Whenever You're Around. She feels lonely whenever the person is around. So we're going to get into this tonight. But I guess that question that I can keep at the front of everybody is, what do the lonely do at Christmas? I'm not talking about the people who are not in a relationship. The loneliness from when you are in a relationship but not the right one. Song of the day. What do the lonely do at Christmas? By The Emotion, released in 1977 off of the album John. Now tonight, into Moscato, I'm going to be sampling some red Moscato, but it's basically house wine. So I consider brands like Sutter Home, I consider that a house wine. Some people consider Beringer a house wine too. They have two different lines of it. So that's what I'm doing tonight. Nothing over the top. But I also want to make sure that I'm speaking about the origin of the wine and the grape and where it came from. So I'm definitely going to do that tonight. But before we begin sampling, I want to remind everybody that Black Diamond Consultations and Reading Between the Wine encourages responsible drinking at all times. Be mindful that alcohol affects your spiritual. You know, they don't call it wine and spirits for no reason. It can affect your spiritual, mental, physical, and financial well-being. Irresponsible habits can lead to harmful consequences in each of these areas of your life. So enjoy the experience, savor the flavors, and know your limits, because the best memories are made when we sip responsibly. So we're going to get into this as I'm sampling Red Moscato tonight, but I want to talk about the Moscato grape. It's also called the Muscat grape, but it's one of the oldest and most aromatic wine grapes in the world. So you're going to smell it pretty much. Definitely. This dates back thousands of years. This grape is cherished for its naturally sweet, fragrant, and fruit forward character. Moscato wines are typically refreshing and incredibly inviting, perfect for both new wine drinkers and seasonal sippers who enjoy a touch of sweetness. And let me tell you, everybody out there, if you like sweet wine, this is it. Out of all of them, this is it. Moscato is intensely aromatic, bursting with peach, apricot, citrus blossom, orange peel, honey, tropical fruit, jasmine, and honeysuckle. These flavors often come with a gentle sweetness and a soft, refreshing finish. Now, there are several different types, again, sampling red Moscato, but there's Moscato. I'm going to make sure I got this right. Moscato d'Asti, which is lightly sparkling. It's sweet with low alcohol. It's like a classic style. There's still Moscato, which is your basic Moscato, fruit forward, and it has no bubbles, just straight wine. There's sparkling Moscato, which is full, bubbly, and very festive. Tonight I have red Moscato. It's a sweet, vibrant, fruit driven. It's like a rosé type. Now, this one you have to be very careful with, because I've had this before, and back in 2020 I said I'm not going to do it again. But be very mindful of the dessert Moscato, because Moscato was already sweet to begin with, but some of these wines are out of control, super out of control. So be very mindful with that. I've had some that I just like, for example, the brand Jamal's Dream. For on previous podcasts, I don't know who Jamal is, but I don't want no parts of that or his dreams, because that wine is super sweet. It is crazy ridiculous. So be careful when it comes to the dessert Moscatos. Moscato shines well with fresh fruit. One of my favorites, the fruit tarts. I love them. That'll pair perfectly with it. Light desserts, spicy cuisines like Thai, Caribbean, Latin, brunch dishes, and soft cheeses like brie. The Muscat grape family is believed to be one of the oldest domesticated wine grapes in existence, with over 200 different variations grown worldwide. So I'm going to say cheers. Welcome to another episode of Reading Between the Wines, and I'm going to go ahead and sample this and bring in my special guest, author slash poet, Birdman 313. What's going on? How are you?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good, going good.
That's good. That's good.
Man,
Listen,
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I just gonna say, just another day, man. Just another day
You
to
know,
be
Queen.
blessed. To be blessed. That's what I got to say.
I know that's right. Queen Latifah has a song called "Just Another Day."
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember that one, but yeah, I used to love that joint.
I didn't listen to too much of Queen Latifah.
Not a Queen Latifah fan.
She all right.
Yeah, that was off of the Black Rain album for all of the Queen Latifah there when she came out with that song "UNITY."
Yes.
I know you know that one now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, he's not a Queen Latifah fan. All right, so what's the weather like over there?
Raining, 57 degrees. You know.
57 degrees.
Yes.
Raining and 57 degrees.
Yes. Hey,
Okay.
but behind the water, there's a cool breeze.
Yeah, I don't like that neither.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So.
All I know is that it's like 30s and we had
Uh,
some snow scare this week playing games, but it looks like it's passing us. We didn't get any snow yesterday. We could have got up to 5 inches, but it didn't happen, which is good, at least not in my area.
yeah, I've been watching the news, man. And because I have family, up north, so I'll be kind of staying, aware of what's going on up there.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, stay away from North Jersey if you don't want any snow, because the further you go north, the more snow you get.
Oh yes, yes, that's the
Yeah,
way Michigan is.
yeah. Nope, do with it.
Yeah, yeah,
First ticket out of here. I'm ready to go.
yeah.
All right, so we got lots to cover, so I want to go ahead and make sure we are on point tonight. So money hacks, staying in money hacks. We get ready to retire this soon. So numbers 1 to 275. What you got for us tonight?
Go ahead and throw out 113.
113. Let's see what we got here. We've done that one before. Boost your credit score. We've done that one.
Okay, then how about 123?
123. I don't know if we've done this one, but I believe that we have done this one.
Okay, then
Uh,
about
au- automate your payment, automated payments. I believe we've done that.
yes,
Mhm.
yes, 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 yes. Okay, then how about number two?
Number two. Let's see what that one is. Let's see. This is a good one. All right, let's get right on into this. Hack number two: make a financial bucket list. It's possible to make a budget that doesn't feel restrictive and severe. You just have to put your money in the right bucket rather than an extensive budget spreadsheet with lines for each and every way you've ever spent money. Break your budget into three buckets: essential bucket, which is 50%, savings bucket, which is 20%, and everything else bucket, which is 30%. Your budget will look like this. First, plan the essentials. 50% of your budget should go to the needs. This includes everything from your rent to the parking garage at work to your groceries and prescriptions. If it is an expensive, if it is an expense around every month and is necessarily survival, it goes into this bucket. Next, save a little. Any money you put in your savings account, whether it's short term savings or contributions to a retirement account, goes into this bucket. If you're paying off debt of any kind, such as credit cards, student loans, or medical bills, put these monthly payments into the saving bucket. It should add up to about 20% of your take home pay. And then last, and now for S bucket. If it's not essential, it's not helping you save, and it's not helping you get out of debt, then it goes into the everything else bucket. This might fit here, such as your gym memberships, holiday gifts, concert tickets. Please don't say the concert tickets, magazine subscriptions, and having a hard time filling up that savings bucket. See what expenses from everything else you can reduce or cut out completely. Make a financial bucket list. There you go. Feel about that.
That's a good one. But you know what I always say, when you write stuff down and make that, normally within 2 weeks you fade off of it.
Well, that is, but that's why you have to stay on it. I say look at it daily. Weekly, of course, makes sense, but and if you miss a day or two, okay, but you get back on track. That's why I'm a family daily
Yeah,
budgeting. Weekly is mandatory. Monthly
yeah,
is mandatory, but yeah, I like the weekly aspect of it. And I'll put this out there. There's power in rough down. If you write things down, you'll remember it quicker.
that's true. That's true. But I'm just saying, I know some people, they write stuff down, and then next thing you know, they done balled it up and threw it away. They have no discipline. That's how when I say you're not even disciplined, they be like, "What you mean by that?" I said, "You're not disciplined." And I say, "Oh, I already know what I'm gonna do." I'm like, "Well, not really, because you wrote it down." And I said, each week you write down how you gonna spend your money. Then at the end of the month you may have a little extra, but everybody is different.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I look at it. Look at it as many times as you can throughout the week. That's a good way to say it. Look at it as many times as you can throughout the week to make sure that you're on track. Say that you're going to spend dollars here. Just keep your receipts, save them, put them on the side, put them in an envelope, and write the dollar amount that you said you were going to spend, and then add up those receipts. And once it hits
Yeah,
that threshold, then you might need to start backing up a little different. Easier said than done. I'll tell you, when it
right.
comes to me, food is definitely one that I gotta focus on.
Okay.
Sometimes I just drive right by the grocery store and say, not today. We ain't doing it today. All right. So we ready to get into tonight's assignment? Because this one gonna be a trip here. So
Yes.
all right, let's get into it. So, dear Laren, man, I'm just gonna keep it real with you because I don't have the energy to sugarcoat anything right now. Holidays just started and I'm already struck and emotionally drained. I've been trying to get on the debt-free living journey for the past year, and honestly, I've made some progress, but every December feels like it knocks me right back to square one. Here's the real issue. I've been talking to this woman for about 6 months. We're not official, but we're acting like we are. It's complicated. The late night calls, the holiday, I miss you text, see when we link up feels real. But when it comes to money, she has expectations. Out of nowhere, she's been hinting at gifts. I saw this bracelet I like. We should go somewhere nice for New Year's. My love language is receiving gifts. Meanwhile, I'm working overtime just to keep my bills straight. Last week, she straight up told me a man how he feels with how he gives. That messed my head up, Laren. Now I'm torn between wanting to show her I care and not wanting to blow up the financial progress I've made. And on top of that, we had this heated argument after a night together because she said I was being cheap when I didn't book the luxury hotel I wanted. But the money is tight. I'm trying to eliminate debt, not impress someone who only sees my wallet. Spiritually, I feel drained. Mentally, I feel manipulated. Physically, the stress is messing with my sleep. Financially, I'm slipping out of alignment. I don't know if I'm being used, if I'm being too sensitive, or if I'm just trying to force something during the holidays because I don't want to be lonely. My question is simple. How do I keep my finances on track and not feel like I'm falling as a man during the holidays? And how can I tell the difference between a woman who loves me, loves what I can provide? Devin, DJ, 37 from Richmond, Virginia. I'm going to take that to the top. Dear Laren, man, I feel like I'm. Oh, let me just take that to the top. Dear Laren, I'm going to keep it real with you because I don't have the energy to sugarcoat anything right now. The holidays just started and I'm already stressed, broke, and emotionally drained. I've been trying to get on this debt free living journey for the past year, and honestly, I've made progress. But every December knocks me right back to square one. Here's the real issue. I've been talking to this woman for about 6 months. We're not official, but we're acting like we are. It's complicated. The late night calls, I miss you text, the intimacy when we link up, it all feels real. But when it comes to money, she has expectations. Out of nowhere, she's been hinting at gifts. I saw this bracelet I like to go somewhere nice for New Year's. My love language is receiving gifts. Meanwhile, I'm working overtime just to keep my bills straight. Last week, she straight up told me a man shows how he feels with how he gives. That messed with my head, Laren. I'm torn between wanting to show her I care and not wanting to blow up the financial progress I've made. And on top of that, we've had heated we had a heated argument after a night together because she said I was being cheap when I didn't book the luxury hotel she wanted. But my money is, and I'm trying to eliminate debt, not impress someone who only sees my wallet. Spiritually, I feel drained. Mentally, I feel manipulated. Physically, the stress is messing with my sleep. Financially, I'm slipping out of alignment. I don't know if I'm being used, if I'm being too sensitive, or if I'm just trying to force something during the holidays because I don't want to be lonely. My question is simple. How do I keep my finances on track and not feel like I'm falling as a man during the holidays? And how can I tell the difference between a woman who loves and a woman who loves what I can? DJ from Richmond, Virginia. All right. What do you got, Birdman?
He just answered his own questions. I mean, come on. If she's asking all of this after a few months of dating, all she's out for is money and for herself. You know, she hinting at a nice bracelet. Okay, we should go somewhere nice for New Year's. Okay, my love language. What she mean by love language is receiving gifts. You know, I mean, when I seen that, I'm like, okay, you know, he said they're not official. So why should he worry about how she feels if he's cheap or not? And he said he can't determine if she, between a woman who loves him and a woman who loves what he can provide. She laying it right there in black and white, right in front of you.
Mm,
All she want is what you can do for her. She hasn't said nothing but what she can do for you. And those type of relationships do not last at all. Because once he start doing for her stuff like that, she gonna continue to get as much as she possibly can until she finds somebody else that will do the same thing for her.
yeah.
And
I,
go ahead.
no, I'm just agreeing. Go ahead. You continue.
Oh, and he said they went to a hotel, and because it wasn't a nice luxury one, I mean, like I said, hey man, she's been getting money out of men like that. And when she said, like I said, when she said, my love language is receiving gifts. That really, I'm like, okay, your love language. Okay. So you could take that any way you want when she said love language. You could
Mm,
take it like, okay, so what is your love language? Is it, you know, going to bed, because that's the only love language I could think of. That's just, like I said, this is just me. This is just me, and I'm thinking about how the streets are. And I've heard women who talk like that, and it's like, well, he can't do nothing for me, but so and so over here, he can do something for me. And that, like I said, it shouldn't be a difficult situation. If he trying to get himself together, he need to let that go. Don't even worry about it. Just say, hey, it was nice talking to you, nice meeting you, and the short time we did. But I can't live like this. I got to find somebody who is steady, and they want the same thing I want. So bye,
Mm.
bye.
You, what you think of that song of the day? Emotions. What do the lonely do at Christmas? You remember that song?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's true. He talking about he don't want to be alone for Christmas. But hell, what he he's alone anyway and he don't even know it.
exactly. But
He's already alone and he doesn't even know it. And you don't have, I mean, like I said, I guess I was different because I used to sit back and watch, a lot of the older guys in my neighborhood and the female, and I used to listen to them talk, and I just watch them, and I'd be like, man, you know what? I'd rather be alone and happy than have somebody around who only wants what I can give them.
mm-hmm. Wow.
If she want a bracelet, man, hey, go to one. I don't know if they have them up in where he at, but like you go to the mall, and they had them little jewelry stores right there in the middle of the mall.
Oh yeah, we still
Go,
got them. Mm-hmm.
yeah, go get her one of them more $2 bracelets and see how. And if she don't like that, then hey, you know what the deal is.
Now I'm gonna tell you, times have definitely changed because I have not seen no $2 bracelets. I know you just saying. I know you just saying that, but we talking. We
No, you know
talking.
what? When I was out in San Diego a couple years ago, I had got Diane and I a bracelet, and the lady was like, "Hey," she like, "Okay, it went $2," but she said, "Hey, two for $10." Hey, you know what, man? I almost I was like, I normally don't use cash. Man, I found me $10 in my wallet. I'm like, yeah, okay. And you know what? She appreciated it. She wears it and smiles, but all people not like that.
And you're absolutely right. And this letter tonight is a prime example of, again, somebody not knowing who they are, not knowing what their value is. Because if you know what your value is and you know who you are not going to settle for anything like this. And this is a prime example of settling. You know full well that you don't belong in this relationship because the signs are written on the wall. 6 months into it, you knew probably a month that this wasn't right, but you, like you said, you didn't want to be lonely. And people out there who don't want to be lonely, they compromise their values and they take steps back and they draw another line in the sand just for someone to disrespect them. And then they take a step back and say, okay, don't do it again. And they keep walking backwards and the other person keeps walking forward right on over top of them. So
Exactly.
that's exactly what's happening. And answering all of these questions, he already knows what it is. He's answering all of them. And I'm gonna let's take it here. Because of this relationship, spiritually, he feels drained. That right there, that's the first sign right there. When you feel disconnected and you feel drained, no, that's the most powerful piece right there. Excuse me, that's the most important piece right there, is your spiritual foundation. Now, this person is taken away from who. That's a problem.
Yeah,
Mentally, I feel manipulated. Yeah, buy me this, buy me that. Let me get into an argument with you. Let me disrespect you and make you feel less. You didn't have the money for whatever I wanted. Not what you wanted, but what I wanted. So I'm going to make you feel a certain way because you can't do what I want you to do. That's a problem.
yeah,
Physically stress messing with my sleep. There's power and there's beauty And it's an amazing thing when you can rest your head at night and sleep well because you know that you're financially secure. Mm,
Yes.
mm, mm,
Yes.
mm.
Yes. That's yes. Okay.
Financially, I'm slipping it. So you clearly know that you're over your budget, overextending yourself, doing too much. Be very careful. Let me tell you, I want to take this back down memory lane, and I'm gonna get off of this because I know we gotta, wrap up. But I did the same thing one summer. I got out of a divorce. I was like, oh yes, this gonna be the summer for me. God, please send me somebody that I could just be with for the summertime because I don't want to be lonely. Send me somebody. And sure enough, it happened. And afterwards, I was probably in uh maybe like $8,000 worth of debt.
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful trying to make
Well,
somebody else. Go
yeah. Go
ahead.
ahead. Yeah. No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Nah,
I'll say it after you
nah,
get
I'm
through.
just yeah, you just gotta be very careful to please and make somebody else happy when you ain't even happy yourself. But go
Yes.
ahead. I'm done.
That I was in a situation like that one time. Me and the wife, we split up. She moved back. Told me she gonna get a divorce. Okay, so I started working at this computer company. That was the first time I had really got into computers, and I was playing semi-pro basketball. And I met this lady, and it seemed like everything was cool. And then about 6 months into it, they start calling people into the office, and they was releasing them because of if you didn't have no business courses in school, because you had to turn in your transcript. They was releasing them, and it was like the whole. I worked in the library, computer library. Everybody in there got released except for one lady, and that's the one me and her. I guess we call ourselves dating. And so then I started, which I started drawing unemployment till I could find a job. Valentine's Day came around, and she called me, and I was kind of like, wow, I hadn't heard from you in like a week and a half. She, oh, I've been busy, blah, blah, blah. And then she said, so what you gonna do for me for Valentine's Day? And I said, well, I said, I'm gonna get you. I said, I don't know. I said, I don't, it's hard to buy gifts for somebody you really don't know. And I said, I'll get you some flowers, a box of candy. And she was like, oh, that's all you can do? I'm like, well, I am drawing unemployment. And, I did lose my job like everybody else except for you. And then she said, well, I need to tell you this. And then that's when she told me, I had heard that it was this guy. And, the crazy thing, he was married. And whichever floor you worked on, you made the money. And he was like on the fourth or fifth floor. So he made some money. And she said, well, I've been kind of seeing him, and he can do this and do that for me. And I'm like, oh, okay, then cool. I said, hey, I hope y'all have a good life. Oh, that's right. You guys share his wife with you. Yeah, okay, y'all, you go ahead and get that some more. My mom was sitting there, and my dad was sitting there. My dad was eating. My dad looked up like, what the hell? And I just hung up the phone, and I came and sat down. We was watching baseball, and my mom said, so what was that about? And I'm like, you kind of nosy, ain't you? She said, I'm your mom. This is our house. That's our phone. And you answered it. So guess what? Yes. And I told him what was up. And my dad said, oh, you didn't need her.
Yeah.
Just like that. He said, you didn't need her. He said, I'm just glad you hung up the phone. And he said, you seen the true person. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah. So that happens. This situation happens to a lot of people, and it's sorry to say is she sounds more like she uses her body to get
Mm,
men than anything.
Yeah.
I'm just, like I said, a lot of it's because yes, I seen and learned and heard a lot about in the streets because I was an outreach worker. So being an outreach worker in the streets, you hear a lot of things, you see a lot of things. Plus,
Mm,
I had a lot of friends, and I knew a lot of the people that was pimps and players, and they would when we be at the park shooting ball, they would come over there and they was like, "Yo, man, y'all need to check this out, youngsters." One dude walked on the basketball court and tucked the ball. He said, "I'm gonna give you a 10-minute less talk." He said, "I'm telling you this for your own good." He said, "You don't like what I got to say?" He said, "The hell with you, cause ain't nothing you can do about it." So that's why I learned a lot like that.
mm. That's
And
good.
yeah, he was telling us. And so then he said, "This is a lesson." He said, "Hey, now," he said, "y'all get out there and get the hooping." He said, "I want to see some of y'all on TV on Sundays." Just like that.
Mm.
And yeah, but she ain't
Yeah.
no good for him. And
Yeah.
if he doesn't know it by now, he will never know it at all.
Mm. That's a song too. Some of that's in a song too. I can remember. But
Yeah,
all right.
it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something else. If you don't know me by now, you will never. Something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
If you don't know who you're dealing with now, I never know, especially after 6 months, you better figure it out and hit that rewind button because you know about it within the first 30 days if you pay attention.
Yeah. And like he said, he took her to a hotel and she wasn't happy with it. I mean, I guess she wanted to go to what the 5-star hotels, you know.
Mm.
I'm the type, hey, this will tell you how cheap I am. I'm the kind long the doors lock and the lights turn on, I'm happy.
I got you. I got you. All right. Well, you could let us know how you feel about tonight's assignment. Please go ahead and text 609-200-1098. That is the official 411 podcast Reading Between the Wines hotline. Let me know how you feel about it. And we're going to get into tonight's burning question. What's a healthy way to navigate intimacy when finances are tight and expectations are high? I'll repeat that again. What is a healthy way to navigate intimacy when finances are tight and expectations are high? Birdman, what you got?
Well, you and whoever you would should know if you can do something, if you can't. You have to talk about communication is a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like me and my better half. When we do things, we talk about it at least 2 months ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then, we talk about it and we talk about what we want to do and what we, gonna do. And hey, we go from there. And it has for me, it has worked out because I know when I plan stuff, she said, I'm the type of person that is rather on the moment. I mean, like we sitting here now, I'd be like, hey, tomorrow come, and it'd be like 11 o'clock in the afternoon. Hey, come on, let's go down here. And she's the type that likes to like to plan it out. Like, wait a minute, hold up. We're gonna stay at this hotel, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do this, and like that. I'm right on the verge of it. If you sit down, you communicate, and you have an understanding about it, and both of y'all agree with what you're saying, it'll work out.
Yeah.
So I tell anybody, hey, just all you gotta do is sit down and communicate. Communication really, I know I drew this out longer, but communication is the main thing.
Yeah, and I'm going to throw my 2 cents in here, and then I know we got to get out of here. So I will say that just like Gwen Guthrie. Yeah, hopefully I'm having her name right, saying her name right.
Mm.
No romance without finance. Now, intimacy when finances are tight, that's one thing. Finances are tight, but if we both on the same page and we understand and we know where we're coming from and what we're working with, that's not a problem. But we want to throw in when expectations are high. Okay, now that's when we need to pump the brakes and say no romance without finance, because it's going to be an issue.
Right.
If expectations are high and you can't meet me in the middle, and you can't, we Dutch date thing, like I pay my half, you pay your half, or we both meet halfway, one time I pay you, one next time you pay me. If we can't meet in the middle and is expecting it to be coming from one side and expectations are high, luxury hotels, this, that, the next, the other, I say no romance without. You need to figure it out and find the right person that's on the right page for you, so you don't have these type of issues.
Exactly.
That's all right. So we did that. We did that, and decent time. We want to make sure we get everything smooth. We're up on a clock, ladies and gentlemen. We have not been up on a clock before, but we are on a clock. I want to make sure that we stay on track so we can give everything to you. And this episode will get recorded and posted. Let me tell you, because this is the third week in a row. Okay, so Birdman, before we get out of here, I know this is a new format. We've been doing the show a little different for most of the year. So, what do you have for everybody out there? If you want to let people know exactly where you're at, where you're
Yeah.
from, all that good stuff.
You know where Hackensack, New Jersey is, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. There's it's a group of people that on once a month on Thursdays we get together and we talk about issues, and that's gonna be tomorrow night, and it's on Zoom, of course, and it's out of Hackensack, New Jersey. We used to do poetry together. We used to do storytelling. Now they done turn into like, just like maybe you could say it's a podcast because it's just four of us talking. Sometimes just three, and then Saturday, the Lion and the Pirate, they have their it's always the beginning of the month. They have their poetry open mic, and you can find my books at Amazon/authors/Birdman313. You can go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/author poet Birdman31355. You can go to my Instagram Instagram.com/Birdman31355. And you can also go to Spotify, go to the Coffee, Wine, and Words platform. And I have 12 videos posted on there. And of course, you can hear me speak on here. And sometimes I'll throw a poem in when we have time, but sometimes. So therefore, just keep coming back, and I may read a poem right quick for you one evening. So
Yes, I know that's right. We definitely could use that. So, I want to say thank you again. This has been another great episode. It's been a great year. So, I know we're getting ready to wind down. I think we have one or two more episodes, and yeah, that'll
yeah,
be it for
yeah,
2025.
not next week though, right?
Oh yeah, no, not next week. Not next week.
Yeah.
But the following week. So yeah. But this will
Okay.
be posted. Everybody will be able to get this. They'll be listening to it next week.
Uh-huh.
So, so it'll be good. So, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and get on up out of here. I want to say thank you so much for joining again. Thank you for partnering with me. I appreciate you, and take care. Have a
Oh yeah.
great week, and I will definitely talk to you soon.
Okay, you do the same.
All right. Take care. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. This has been another episode of Reading Between the Lines. That was author/poet Birdman313. If you like anything that you heard tonight about debt-free living, that's what we do here. We speak what people don't want to talk about, money. So head on over to LarenGaines.com. You can also sign up for my free 15-minute consultation if you want to talk to me and see if I can help you on your debt-free living journey. I focus on debt-free living from the spiritual, mental, physical, and financial realms, which are very important. I believe that they're all interconnected. And just in that process, start with the spiritual, move into the mental. It will affect how you show up in the physical, and then the financial becomes that just much easier. All of that information can be found at LarenGaines.com. Next month, actually, no, not next month. This month, we're already here, December 14th. I have a lunch and learn. You can sign up for other events that I have coming up. I'm focusing on the next month, which is January already. So stay tuned. Check out LarenGaines.com. Keep coming back to the podcast, and you'll find out about the new things that we have going on. On that note, I will see you when I see you. Take care, y'all. Have a good night.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's a wrap on today's episode of the 411 podcast and Reading Between the Wines, where growth is always on the menu, and every pour reveals a little more truth. The conversation doesn't end here. Have something to say? Want to weigh in on tonight's burning questions? Text us anytime at the official 411 podcast and Reading Between the Wines hotline at 609-200-1098. Stay plugged in across all social media platforms at Gaines. We're live and in the conversation on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube, DLive, Twitch, and Dailymotion. Prefer to listen on the go? The audio version is streaming on most major podcast outlets. Until we meet again, take what you've learned, sip slow, speak truth, and remember, transformation starts within. Powered by the Black Diamond Consultations Network.